You guys take a look, see where you are, leave the money and stuff like that. If you guys want to stay at that center, that's good, because you just got started. That's good. Collaborative action research is posing a question about my own teaching or my own learning, going through a set of different processes, such as researching, such as putting it into action in different ways, and seeing how that can impact my own teaching, and then being very critical with my results and seeing how that affects my teaching and learning. I started with the idea of wanting to doing something with just problem solving. But what I was really interested in is how do I keep kids current with the concepts we've already taught earlier in the year so that they don't forget it. My action research project is specifically on how can I change my teaching strategies, how can I change my teaching plan so that I'm always at least once or twice a week going back and reviewing the concepts we've covered earlier in the year so that kids are constantly fresh with those ideas. I'm just trying to see in a very simplistic kind of view, how does always going back to reviewing things on a daily basis help kids learn, especially at grade 3 level when they have to do a CRT come the end of the year. My focus for the action plan is looking at using various structures and various centers in grade 3 and 4 mathematics. Ultimately, what I want them to do is see how they work together as a group to review math concepts taught earlier in the year. What I'm doing today, and this is the first day we're doing it, is a review center. So every task that they're doing, whether it's graphing or skip counting or numeration, they've all done this before. All we're trying to do is for 20 minutes for each center, they're working on tasks they've already done, and then tomorrow, the next day, we'll get back into the regular strand of multiplication that we're working on right now. To talk about the skip counting one here, I've got kids in the class that are below grade level, and I've got kids that are exceptionally above grade level. And they each have their own skip counting duotang in their book. And so from whatever level they're at in that, I've taken sheets and put it into their group work binder. These guys here are all doing the same thing. They're all practicing reviewing numeration concepts, but they all have different sheets, even though they look the same. They're randomly generated numbers on there that they have to work with. So it's not like Dylan can copy off James or James can copy off Dylan. They have to help each other. So they've kind of shown me they can do that based on the pre-assessments that I was doing with them. I hope that maybe this is going to be a future structure for my classrooms, that it works for me in such a way that it's easy to plan for, that it's easy to assess, that the evaluation of the students is done fairly and it matches what their level of learning is at. That's what my goal would be. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What's that called? What's it called?
Tally.
You want to do a tally. That's what you want to do. The data ultimately that I'll be collecting will be their own work samples. I've given a survey to start off before I started doing the center's work. After they're finished the center's implementation, I'm going to ask them again how they feel about the way math class is working for them. So their own journals, their own reflections, surveys, and work samples are all different types of data that I'm going to be using to decide if, in fact, my new action plan has actually had an effect. Do you guys have your chart organized yet? Where is it? It's really valuable for me to be involved in a process where I get to structure my own learning, where I'm getting a day or two of professional development that I focus solely on myself. Given that I'm allowed to focus my thoughts on something that I want to learn about, makes the whole process completely worthwhile for me. That's what I get the most out of it. Instead of being with a group of people and saying, this is what you're learning today as a teacher in service, which has its value, I really enjoy the process of being given the time and the resources and all kinds of resources from other people at MUN who have sent me, if I've asked for, I need data, I need research articles on this, on that, I've been given that type of support. So there's lots of resources in this project for me to really gain new knowledge and to focus my new knowledge on something that interests me. I like to be inspired to do something when I'm involved in professional development. I love learning, and I hope that I can always try to keep learning and inspire the children as well.